Hello, welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dream of owning a home or investing in one. Today's show, I'm going to be speaking about knowing all of the players in the game or knowing who should be on your team and what your team members should do. Many of you have read my books. Many of you have listened to other broadcasts that I have created. And one of the main things that I've always tried to drive home is that teamwork makes the dream work. Who you have on your team is critical to your success in buying a home or investing in one. So let's start from the top because I can see from the response that I've been getting that many people don't really know the difference between what each team member does and who the different team members are. Okay. Realtors help buyers, sellers sell their homes, and they also help tenants in finding renters. Wholesalers, they normally find sellers and they find buyers. The buyers they normally look for are investors. And then they put the deals together with a contract. They normally get paid by the buyer for doing this. Next, you have an appraiser. They basically evaluate a home. Sometimes they go inside, sometimes they don't. And they will tell you or the bank how much they feel a home is worth. The way they do it is they compare your home or the home you're interested in with another home in the immediate area. Or if they can't find anything in the immediate area, then they go right outside the immediate area and they try to come up with a fair comparison price. Next, you have the inspector. The inspector performs a visual survey of the conditions of the major components which define a home. That is, they look at the foundation, they look at the building structure, the interior, the exterior, the electrical system, the plumbing system, the mechanical heating and cooling systems, as well as insulation and ventilation. The engineer, on the other hand, looks for the structurally sound condition of the home. They, in addition to everything that the inspector looks for, they also look at the floor structure, the walls of the home, the ceiling, the roof, the load-bearing walls, and they look to see if there's like any distortion. If you are buying an extremely large home or one that's old, I really recommend that you go and get yourself an engineer and not an inspector, because the engineer, their report is a lot more in depth and they go above and beyond what the state or the city says that you're supposed to look for and look into. And they also will give you a better estimate as far as how much it will cost for you to make the repairs that are needed to be made. Next, you have your bank. And basically, after the appraiser tells the banker how much the home is worth or how much they feel the home is worth, the bank will loan you the money if you qualify. And with banks, you get first mortgages, second mortgages. Banks also will loan you money in equity, meaning if you already are a homeowner and you're thinking about buying another home, or you want to use the money from your home to pay for medical expenses or something else, the bank normally is where you would get that equity from. The next one we have is your mortgage broker. They basically find the best mortgage lender and loan for you. They do collect an extra fee. It's, in my opinion, use a mortgage broker if your credit is not that great. If you have good credit, meaning like 670 and above, find your own bank. Go to bankratemonitor.com and see which one will be best for you. Next, you have hard money lenders. These are companies that will loan you money, normally at a very high rate. These are the people that investors normally use. And the reason why investors will normally use hard money lenders and private money lenders is because banks always want you to put the property in your name, or they want to put the loan in your name. Investors don't want the loan in their name. They want the loan in their company's name. So that's why they would go to a hard money lender or a private money lender. And since I mentioned private money, let's talk about the difference between private and hard money. Private money is normally from someone you know or you're familiar with. For example, I belong to a mastermind. So if I loan money to somebody in my mastermind group, I would not be considered a hard money lender. I would be considered a private money lender. Now, the interest rate on private money is higher than the bank, but it tends to be lower than the one that a hard money lender would give. Next, you have attorneys. They basically write and review all contracts in any real estate transaction, whether it is for mortgage notes or whether it is to buy land or whether it is to buy a home. An attorney is definitely necessary, but when you're choosing an attorney, choose an attorney who is familiar with the area of real estate that you are moving into. Next, you have contractors, which basically they, as many of you know, they repair or build homes. Next, you have investors. Investors, yes, as mentioned before, they can be private money lenders, but they essentially, for the most part, buy, sell, manage homes, mortgages, tax liens, tax deeds. They look for bargains for profit. That's what an investor does. Okay? Now, if you want further information as far as how to choose the best team player for whatever your goal is going to be, as far as is it to just buy a home or do you want to just invest in one, then I suggest that you pick up my book, The Perils of Real Estate Scam Alert, for more information and also to proceed with caution, because you can have the knowledge, you can have the money, you can have the credit score, but again, if you don't have the correct people on your team, you can lose money. If you have somebody who's a con artist, you can lose money. If you have somebody who's just incompetent, you will lose money. So the people on your team is important. And then the other thing that I've noticed that I'm seeing a lot is that many people, they confuse who is doing what. Meaning, if someone is the bank, you should not expect them to do what a contractor does. This is why I had labeled everybody and also gave you a definition of what it is that they are responsible for. Okay? Well, folks, that's all I have for you tonight. Hopefully the information that I've given you will help lead you on the way of getting the home of your dreams. Feel free to pass this along. Remember, each one reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.